Okay, let's just dive right in. We're going to talk about something fascinating today. How the digital world is completely reshaping one of the most traditional industries you can think of, the funeral home. It's this huge shift from a reputation that was built over generations to one that's judged in just a few seconds online.
And this right here, this captures the whole conflict perfectly. On one side, you've got that classic badge of honor, right? 40 years of service. That means stability, community trust. It means everything. But on the other side, you have the new signal, a 4.9-star rating. That's instant social proof. So that leads us to the big question. When a family is going through it, when they have to make a decision that's both fast and incredibly emotional, which one of these actually carries more weight? Which one do they lean on?
To figure that out, let's take a quick step back and really look at the idea of reputation itself. What it used to be and what it's become today.
For decades, this was it. This was the whole game. A funeral home's reputation was literally built on the family name, on deep, deep roots in a community. People knew you, they trusted your family, and that trust was just passed down person to person. It was the original word of mouth.
But here's the fundamental switch. That whole system, it's gone digital. Families in crisis today, they don't have time to ask around the neighborhood. What do? They pull out their phones. So they're not relying on what they've heard over the years. They're relying on what they can see right in that moment.
And that brings us to what's really the new deciding factor. What are families actually seeing when they do that search? And more importantly, how does it make them feel? So, let's play out a scenario that happens every single day. You've got Funeral Home B, the old guard, been in the community for 40 years. Solid, right? But look, they've only got 6 reviews. Then you have Funeral Home A. They're newer to the scene, but they have 85 reviews and a 4.9-star rating. Now, for a family in distress, scrolling through their phone, who looks like the safer bet? The sheer volume of feedback for Home A just screams reliability.
And this is the absolute heart of it. The choice they make isn't really a logical one. It's psychological. It's a mental shortcut. Seeing that high number of recent positive reviews tells a brain that's already overwhelmed with grief, this place is safe, this place is competent.
And it goes way deeper than just the star rating. People click, they read the words, and what they're looking for is emotional proof. They're scanning for phrases just like these: compassionate, supported, cared for. These reviews act as little signals that tell a family, it's okay, this is a safe place to turn, long before they even think about picking up the phone.
So this raises a really important question. If a funeral home is doing amazing, compassionate work, why does their online presence so often look, well, kind of empty?
And it really all comes down to this one very human, very understandable reason. For a funeral director who has just walked a family through maybe the worst time of their lives, turning around and asking for a Google review just feels awkward. It feels transactional and totally out of place. And because of that hesitation, you get this massive disconnect. The amazing 5-star service they provide in the real world stays completely invisible to the next family that's searching online. It ends up creating this digital reputation that is just a faint echo of how great they actually are. So how do you fix that? How do you bridge that gap without feeling like a salesperson? Well, it's all about changing your mindset. It's about learning how to ask with compassion. The answer isn't some big, aggressive marketing campaign. It's actually a much softer, gentler approach. It really just boils down to 2 simple things: listening for the right moment, and then making a very simple, very low-pressure request. And this phrase right here, this is the magic key. Because look at how it reframes the whole idea. You're not saying, help my business, you're saying, this helps other families. Suddenly, you're not asking for a favor for yourself, you're giving that grieving family a chance to help someone else who's gonna be in their shoes one day. It becomes an act of service.
Now, when you start doing this, it doesn't just feel better, it unlocks something we can call the Google advantage.
And this is the powerful 1-2 punch. First, yes, the reviews build trust with the actual human beings reading them, of course, but they also build trust with Google's algorithm. See, lots of recent positive reviews is a huge signal to Google that says, hey, people in the real world trust this place. We should show it to more people. And the payoff here is real. It's totally measurable. When you get a steady stream of reviews, you get more visibility, period. That leads to more trust from families, which, you guessed it, leads to more calls. It honestly becomes your single biggest advantage over your competitors online, and it doesn't cost a thing.
Which really brings us to the final, most important takeaway of this whole thing. Your reputation, no matter how amazing it is, has to be seen to matter.
Think about it. You can have a perfect 40-year reputation built on generations of care, but if that reputation isn't visible and easy to find online through reviews, then to the next family searching in a moment of crisis, it might as well not even exist. In today's world, what families can see online is the new word of mouth. So the only real question is, what story is your online presence telling?